everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. This is Notary Geeks, where we are geeking out all things notary. So my name is Zaniya, and I just want to say welcome to the new subscribers, to the old subscribers. I am so happy to have you all here today. For today's video, I will be telling y'all and showing y'all what is an acknowledgement, jurat, and copy of certification, and how to fill out each of these forms. So let's get straight into the video. Hi everyone, before we go over these documents, I would like to say that the reason I'm going over the acknowledgement, jurat, and copy of certification is because these are the most common notarial certificates you will see as a Texas notary. So the first document that we'll be looking at is the Texas Ordinary Certificate of an Acknowledgement. I have written the definition up top in this section right here. So an acknowledgement is where a notary has to verify a signer's identity and the signer has willingly signed the document and agreed to its terms. I also would like to make note that I got these loose leaf sheets of paper from the NNA, aka the National Notary Association. If you pay for the membership, then you get these loose leaf sheets of paper along with that. Okay, perfect. So the state that I am commissioned in is in the state of Texas, okay? And I am not going to put the actual county I am commissioned in for safety reasons. So for that, I am just going to make up a county name. And that is going to be Magic. County of Magic, okay? So next is before me, blank. So this blank, this is where you are going to put your name as the notary, okay? So I'm also not going to use my first or last name for safety reasons, so I'm just going to use a made-up name from a TV show. Today's TV show that we are doing is the Netflix series You. Y'all, I just finished this series and it is mind-boggling. Oh my gosh. Definitely go watch that show if you have any free time or downtime. Anyway, so the notary's name for this notarial certificate is going to be Love Quinn, Notary Public. And we're going to be a little bit more specific than this and put Notary Public in Texas. Perfect. And then so it says before me, Love Quinn, Notary Public in Texas. On this day personally appeared. So this is where you're going to put the name of the signer. The signer's name is going to be Joe Goldberg. And then now you're going to go to the next section, which is right here. So this is where you as a notary have to pick how did the signer show their form of identification. So the first one is known to me. When it says known to me, this means that the signer is personally known by the notary public. Okay, 10 times out of 10, I never choose this option just because I keep it professional as possible. So I may have known this person for 5 to 10 years. This person may be my mother, okay? Could be my bestest cousin ever. I know bestest is not a word, but just for professional reasons, I don't choose this option. Okay, so the next one is proved to me on the oath of name of a credible witness. So this is where you can mark this option if the signer does not have a valid form, a valid government issued form of ID. So then they can use a credible witness who personally knows them, but that witness also has to have a valid form of identification issued by the government. Okay, so you can always use that option, but 10 times out of 10, I do use the last option, which is proved to me through. So what this means is that the signer has shown me as the notary a government issue, a valid is very important, a valid government issued form of identification. So this could be a driver's license, a state ID, a military ID card, something along those lines that is government issued and it is valid. Okay, so let's say today Joe Goldberg decided to prove his identity with a state-issued driver's license. Perfect. And then let's make the font a little bigger. Okay, perfect. And then I'm just gonna make these fonts bigger just cause. Perfect. So now we're going to scroll down to the next section. So far we have before me, Love Quinn, Notary Public in Texas. On this date, personally appeared Joe Goldberg. Proved to me through state-issued driver's license to be the person whose name is subscribed to the foregoing instrument and acknowledged to me that he or she executed the same for the purposes and consideration therein expressed. Given under my hand and seal of office this day. It is currently Saturday, 16th October 2021. So I am going to put the 16th. And remember, when you put the day, make sure that you add the correct ending to it. So it's the 16th, so I'm going to put the TH. If it was the 3rd of October, I would put 3RD. Okay. So then next I'm going to put October 2021. Perfect. And let's just move this a little lower. Perfect. And then this is where the notary will put their signature, but since my signature is not on this platform because I'm currently using Adobe, we're just going to put Love Quinn as the signature for today. Perfect. And then this section right here is where you are going to put your stamp. And I also want to make note that on the Notarize platform, your stamp does not have your title on it. So you do want to make sure that you do add your title. So then that would just be, oops, we just add it. Notary Public of Texas. Perfect. And then next is the optional section. So I just want to say that even though it says it's optional, you as a notary should always want to fill out as much information as possible, okay? It may say optional, but it is to your best interest that you fill out the optional portion. So first in this box is the title or type of document. So let's say that Goldberg needed his passport application to be notarized. Okay, passport application. So that is the title of the document. And then the document date. So the document date is the date that you as a notary have signed the document. So that would be 10/16/2021. Perfect. And then let's say the number of pages were 3. So the passport application only had 2 pages, but including this page, it would be 3 pages. And then the next portion, it says signers other than the name above. Well, there was only one signer, which was Joe Goldberg. So then since this box does not apply to the signer, then it would just be NA for not applicable. Perfect. So then that is it for the certificate of an acknowledgement. Next is the Jurat. So I have placed the definition of the Jurat right here in this section. So let's see. A jurat is where a notary has verified a signer's identity and willingness to sign the document, but the signer will also have to take an oath, swearing or affirming the content in the document is true. Now, this definition sounds very, very similar to the acknowledgement, which it is. The only difference between an acknowledgement and a jurat is that with the jurat, the notary has to perform an oath. Now, I will not be showing you what exactly the oath looks like in this video. The state of Texas, right? I'm gonna make that a little bigger, and then the county of is Magic County. Okay, so next it says subscribed and sworn to or affirmed before me this day. So before I even move on to the date, I just want y'all to know anytime where it says subscribed and sworn to together, even if it says sworn to by itself, that is a signal word. Again, sworn to is a signal word. So that alerts you as a notary that this is a jurat and you have to perform an oath. Okay, perfect. So then the date is the 16th of October 2021. Perfect. And then now it's the name of the signer. So the signer is Joe Goldberg. And then let's do a second signer just so we can idea both if it's one signer or if there's two signers. So let's say Guinevere Beck. Pretty sure that's not even how you spell her name, but that's okay. Okay, so then that's the second signer, guys. And then next is the signature of the notary. So the notary is Love Quinn. And remember to add your title, which is Notary Public of Texas. Perfect. And remember, guys, you do not put your printed name as a signature. This is where you will actually put your signature and then add your title. Okay, so the next portion is where it says any other required information, residence, expiration date, etc. So this is pertaining to the notary public. Now for the residence, you can just put your city and state where you reside. Now I'm not going to put the actual city and state where I reside because that's, you know, a bit too personal and just for safety reasons. So I am going to make up a town or a city, which is Goldentown, Texas. Perfect. And then I'm going to put a semicolon, and the expiration date is referring to the day your commission expires. So mine is February 12th, 2025. Perfect. And then next you're going to put your stamp right here and scroll down. Now this is the optional portion. Remember, you do want to fill out the optional portion just so that the document can be as accurate as possible. Now the document is going to be a durable power of attorney. Now I do want to make notice that I did not use any abbreviations, which I wouldn't recommend you doing. I would just spell out power of attorney instead of just putting POA. So remember, the document date is the date that you as a notary has signed the document. So that is going to be 10/16/2021, and the number of pages was 2. The power of attorney was 1 page, and the notarial certificate is another, which means there was 2. And now the next portion says signers other than named above. So even though there was 2 signers, this is still not applicable. Why? Because both Joe Goldberg and Guinevere Beck signed the document, and this says signers other than name above. So for that reason, it is still not applicable. And now that is it for the jurat. And actually, I do want to make note that before the signers sign the document for a jurat, you do have to perform the oath. So the oath is first, and then the signer can sign the document. Okay, perfect. The next document is the copy of certification. So what exactly even is this? A copy of certification is where a notary has certified that a signer's document is a true reproduction of the original document. Now, I do want to make note that a Texas notary cannot notarize a copy of certification of a birth certificate, a death certificate, and a marriage license. Why? Because those documents are considered recordable documents, which means those documents have to be issued by a government entity in the state of Texas. Therefore, a Texas notary cannot notarize a copy of certification for the birth certificate, death certificate, and marriage license. Okay, perfect. Next, I'm going to be in the state of Texas. the county of Magic County, and then today is the 16th day of October 2021. Perfect. So it says, on this, the 16th day of October 2021, I certify that the attached document or preceding document blank pages. So this is where you will put the number of pages is true. So we're going to say that it is 3 pages. 3 pages is true, exact, complete, and unaltered copy of description of original document. So this is where you are going to put the title of the document. So this is just going to Henry Goldberg's immunization records. Perfect. Okay, so the next portion is this part right here. So you have an or. So you can either do presented to me by blank, who is the original document's custodian on above date, or you can do an official notarial record in possession. So what exactly does this mean? So you will check the first box if the document is presented by the custodian, which is the signer. Okay, so then you check the second box if the original is an official notarial record kept by the notary. So the first one is by the custodian, who is the signer, and the second one is kept by the notary, who is the notary public. Perfect. So this was presented here today by Joe Goldberg, which is Henry Goldberg's dad. So we are going to put a check mark 2 for the first one, and then is going to be Joe Goldberg. Perfect. And then this is where the notary public is going to sign their signature. So that is going to be Love Quinn. And then notary public of Texas is going to be put right here, just to be a little bit more specific, guys. Perfect. And then the next part says the notary's name printed or typed name. So that's going to just be Love Quinn. And then appointment of expiration date is the date your commission expires, which is going to be February 12th, 2025. And then right here is where you are going to place your stamp. Next portion is the optional section. Remember, you always want to fill out the optional information so the document can be as accurate as possible. So the first section, it says further description of attached document. So address where the original is kept. So this is the address where the original immunization records are being kept, right? Okay, so let's make up an address that is going to be 4321 Magic Lane, Magic, Texas. Oops, spelled magic wrong. Magic, Texas 00007. Perfect. And then original document date is going to be October 16th, 2021. So next is the signers or issuing agency. What this portion is asking for is who is the person who may have signed the original document, along with the person's title, or if it is an issuing agency, maybe who even issued the document. So we are going to say that the issuing agency is going to be Perfect Healthcare, which is also a made-up hospital, or not hospital, but doctor's office. Okay, so capacity claimed by custodian. So what is the custodian? Who is the signer's title? The signer's title is just going to be individual, or the custodian is representing. So the custodian would be Joe Goldberg, but he is representing Henry Goldberg because remember, this immunization is Henry Goldberg's, but since he is a minor, his parent is representing him. So for that very reason, it's going to be Henry. Custodian is representing Henry Goldberg. Y'all, that is it for the documents. We officially know how to fill out a copy of certification, a jurat, and an acknowledgement. Alright, so that is it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you have any comment or questions, be sure to put it down in the comment section below. I will be sure to respond to all of them. And y'all have an amazing day. Bye.